What do you do when God's promise feels quiet in the middle of your grief? Genesis made 23rd seem like a simple chapter about loss, but it carries deep meaning about faith, hope, and God's unfolding promises. Sarah dies, Abraham mourns, and yet even in sorrow, God's covenant continues to move forward. This chapter shows us that biblical faith doesn't ignore grief. It walks through it while still trusting God's future. Today, we'll explore how Genesis 23 teaches us about mourning with faith, honoring those we love, and believing that God is still at work even when life feels heavy. I'm glad you're here. Let's dive right in. Welcome back to our verse-by-verse study through Genesis. Today we're in Genesis chapter 23, a chapter often overlooked but rich with significance. Here we witness the death of Sarah and Abraham's faith in action as he secures a burial site, not in his homeland, but in the land God promised. This is a chapter about grief, hope, and long-term trust in God's promises. Genesis 23:1-2, the death of Sarah. Sarah lived 127 years, and Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Sarah is the only woman in Scripture whose age at death is recorded. This speaks to her importance. Abraham mourns deeply, but not as one without hope. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 13. Genesis 23 verses 3-9. Abraham seeks a burial place. I am a foreigner and a visitor among you. Abraham acknowledges he doesn't own land in Canaan yet. Still, he seeks to bury Sarah there, not back in Ur, because he believes this land is their God-given inheritance. He asks to purchase the cave of Machpelah from Ephron. Vadi Baucham points out that Abraham is thinking generationally, acting in faith, knowing God's promise will be fulfilled in the future. Genesis 23 verses 10-16, the negotiation and purchase. Ephron offers a field for free, but in reality, it's a public bargaining ritual. Abraham insists on paying full price. I will give you money for the field. Take it from me. And Abraham weighed out the silver, 400 shekels of silver. John MacArthur notes Abraham wanted no ambiguity. This would be a legally recognized permanent possession. Genesis 23 verses 17-20, the first footstep in the promised land. So the field of Ephron and the cave were deeded to Abraham. This is the first actual piece of land Abraham owns in Canaan, used not for living, but for burying his wife. It's a small beginning, but full of promise. Hebrews 11 verses 13-16 tells us that Abraham died in faith, not having received the promises, but seeing them afar off. Key takeaways. Godly grief is anchored in hope. Abraham mourns, but he also looks forward. Faith acts generationally. He buys land not for himself, but as a stake in God's future. God's promises are worth waiting for. Even one burial plot in Canaan was a seed of trust. Believers are pilgrims on earth. We are not home yet. Like Abraham, we walk by faith. Conclusion and application. Genesis 23 challenges us to grieve with hope. Think beyond our lifetime. Plant seeds of faith even when the harvest seems far away. Ask yourself, am I trusting God even when I only see small beginnings? Do I invest in the future of God's kingdom, not just my own comfort? Is my hope fixed on the eternal city, not the temporary? Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more verse-by-verse Bible teaching. Family, thank you for spending time with me in Genesis 23 today. If something in this chapter spoke to your heart, whether about grief, faith, or trusting God in seasons of loss, I'd love for you to share in the comments so we can encourage one another. May God comfort you in your mourning, strengthen your faith in uncertain moments, and gently remind you that His promises never fade, even in sorrow. I'm grateful you're here. I'll see you tomorrow.